Alright, looks like everything's working. Hey guys, Resurfing here. So, got a new model today. Just kind of wanted to do it. So the new model is the Pokemon model kit Mewtwo. I actually have the Pikachu of the same set. Because that had been brought over once before when Toys R Us was still around. Obviously it's not there anymore. There's the item I need. And I don't know where I have the Pikachu at the moment. It's around here somewhere. But it had a neat little gimmick where if you had turned the head, the ears would move. So I wonder if there's some kind of similar gimmick in the Mewtwo model. Anyways, this was found at Barnes & Noble. And this is probably not going to be a long model, so I might be able to get in a second stream. We'll see. These kits are all $10. There's also an Eevee kit, which is new. That one was just made this year, I believe. Pikachu and Mewtwo had existed before. I kind of hope they keep doing Pokemon model kits, because at the very least, I'd like to have a Mew. So let's get the runners out. Okay, that's what I thought. I had to check. I could not remember if the eyes were decals on Pikachu. They were. Oh, speaking of model stuff, it's not going to be useful for this model, but there is a model coming up in the future that this will be useful for. I got Gundam markers. Finally got around to getting some. On Mewtwo, not going to be that useful. Mewtwo appears to have a stand. Pikachu did not have a stand. Also, I can already tell Mewtwo's going to be more complex than Pikachu was. Mewtwo's head was not actually attached to that runner ever, I don't think. Anyways, A1 appears to be the tail. A2 head, stand, and upper body, it looks like. It's actually one of those ones that's small enough I might be able to leave everything here. B1 is the limbs. Oh no, it's the leg specifically. B2 is the arms. And then we have the decals. Which I'll try to give a good look there. Right now, what did I just do with the instructions? There they are. Yeah, it's flat out of stand. looks like body first. Oh no, that's just saying how it works. Okay, so head first. And wants to use the decals pretty much immediately. Because it's doing the head first. Alright. That's easy enough at least. Interesting that you put the head together before putting it onto the body. Usually you do that around the body, but it looks like Mewtwo works a bit differently. So a lot of these parts are going to be bigger parts just due to the nature of Pokemon. Also, you probably get around with doing Gundam markers on this if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that. Actually, no, I couldn't do it anyway because I need to have the white ones. I never even saw that set. Thankfully, the decals were big. The Pikachu ones were tiny. Now I actually remember there being decals. I remember them being tiny. I just hadn't remembered them. Alright. I mean, I kind of remember them, but wasn't sure if I was just making it up or not. You know, sometimes your mind makes up things that didn't actually happen, but your mind insisted. I thought maybe that was what was happening with the Pikachu memory, but no, I was right, it was decals. And there's Mewtwo's head. Alright, next up, now it actually wants the body. So A16 and B212. So his left side then. Well, I did Pikachu. You actually had to build the head around the body, around the neck joint. Apparently that's not how that works on Mewtwo. Also not seeing any obvious gear system here, so Mewtwo might not have that little gimmick. Which makes certain amount of sense. He's a bigger figure. That the money probably went there instead of the gimmick. Alright, B2. This is B2. Yes, B212. And I'm going to guess this is going to be the tail joint. Actually, there might be a gimmick on the tail. The tail might be the gimmick. Because this has a... This piece looks like it has a slide on it. It might not, but it looks like it does. You can see what I mean looking there. See that long hole? That's not on the other side. That makes me think there's some kind of slide mechanism there. If I had to guess, I would say you move the tail to do something. There's definitely some kind of mechanism in here because B211 is a lever. I definitely want to be careful while I'm doing this. Okay, I did have it right. I had to double check. Alright, and you can actually see how it works then. Still not sure what it's actually going to do yet, but... Whoops. Oh, there we go. You can see moving the tail moves at the top there. B210. Yeah, that is that. Okay. Oh, and I'm going to guess it probably won't show up on camera just due to the lavender color of everything. But the sprue numbers are little Pikachu heads. Because why not? I'm just kind of playing around with the gears right now just to see exactly how everything works. I'm not going to play around too much because it will pop off if I do that. But not once I get the other side of the body put on, which is the next step. So obviously these are not as complicated as Gunplay is. They're still fun to build though. And they're much sturdier than those snappy kits, which I'm trying to build one, but I'm afraid I'm going to break it. Don't have to worry about that with Mewtwo here. I'll figure out the exact lineup later, but I think I'm pretty close on it. Alright. So the tail's going to move the right arm now. See, that's one I can actually show, I think. Let's see here. Yeah. Pay attention to that nub at the top, and you'll see how the tail affects it. So the tail's going to move the right arm, or right arm moves the tail, depending on how you're doing it. Chest plate piece. And specifically the front. Oh, there's the cord. Okay, so the cord's actually on a bulge. I was not expecting that. That's one where the cord was, for where the neck is connected to his back. Or head is connected to the back, rather. And it actually uses ball joints, which I was not expecting. Simple little armor snap-on. Which is definitely going to work better when the other side is there. There we go. Have you ever had any of those old Green Ranger toys? The chest piece is basically that. Where you could take the dragon armor off. Or if you had the Dragon Ball Z Piccolo model. Because his cape essentially worked that way as well. the back of it. Alright. Just to say, I always appreciate a model that comes with a stand. Alright, there's the body. Now, with the armor, now to get the, well, I'm going to call it umbilical, because Mew was based off a fetus, so, so Mewtwo's tail is essentially an umbilical cord. Actually, looks like it wants decals on the side first. I see, so that's to make sure you have no break in the tail. Got it. Because you can't do the a solid piece in 2 colors. Not a $10 price point anyway. Obviously, you can do it, but at $10, you're probably not going to manage it. Almost. As usual, it doesn't need to be perfect, but I'd like to have it so that there's not too much extra stick. That should be good. Oh, they gave a bit of leeway with the decal, so that's good. The decal's actually bigger than it needs to be. Which is better than being too small. It's not going to be taking them apart again. If I don't have to, anyway. I shouldn't have to. Oh yeah, the decals overlap. Okay. And that's actually it for the decals. The decals are just the 2 eyes and the sides on the tail there. I don't need you yet. Next I need... Yeah, okay, tail pieces. Start with the front part of it. Actually, I've not watched the, well, remade movie. I was supposed to say new movie, but can't really call it a new movie, can you? Playing around with the gear just to get it moving a bit. Well, lever. I keep calling it gear, but it's a lever. Now you want the head on. Okay. And it should just snap on pretty nicely. You've got full 360-degree movement until you put on the next piece. The next piece is going to minimize movement a bit. But I think that's why they put it on the ball joint. So you at least get some movement. Because now we're putting on that neck part. I don't know if the mic picks it up or not, but it was a nice, satisfying snap sound once you get it in. and you actually get pretty decent range of head movement thanks to the ball joint. Boy, I'm seeing the delay on the stream, so that's why it's taking a bit long. I'm just making sure that everything's still working. Because sometimes Twitch just likes to stop for whatever reason. And that would be the legs. Which means I'm going to need this piece, right? No, that's tail. This one. Four and five. Okay, that makes it easier. They're right next to each other. They didn't do the annoying get the opposite parts on opposite sides thing that these model kits tend to do. And this is going to be the right leg, it looks like. Now I need 2 and 3 for the right foot. Not what I was trying to grab. But you'll probably be the next part anyway, so. One nice thing about these is that these pieces are big enough, you don't have to worry too much about breaking something. The runners are the more likely things to break. There are still parts that are small enough that I want to be really careful with, but for the most part, they're not bad. Okay, I did have that right. I did triple check on that one. Of course, the one part's angled, which makes it a bit more difficult, but that's going to happen just due to the way that Mewtwo's legs work. Alright, I'm going to guess the next part is, yep, the toes. It's actually a pretty solid piece. Okay. And sure enough, the next thing it wants me to build is the other leg. I don't know why, but I find model kits very relaxing, especially the snap together kits like this. Oh, the spruce stuck there. And this one. Alright, that's actually exactly how I thought it went. Perfect. And add the toes on, and not only will that be it for the legs, that'll be it for this runner. So, let's put you in the box down here. I always keep the runners just in case, because you can use the extra plastic for other stuff. And just onto the sides here. And you have a decent range of movement. There is a stopper, so they're not going to just go all the way around. And Mewtwo is, of course, not going to stand on his own. I mean, I could probably make it happen, but... yeah, it's definitely not designed to. Now you can really tell anyway with the right close on my computer. So next up is the arms. And because I spread out the runner so nicely, I was able to grab the runner I needed right away. 16 and 17, huh? Gotcha. And these are the parts where you want to be careful. That is a very tiny ball joint. If you're going to accidentally break something, that's the part you're going to accidentally break. So I'm assuming that's the ball joint the hand is going to attach to. $14. And make sure I have this going the right way. Gotta be this way. Okay. Yeah, because you can make the elbow that way. A lot of times I end up having trouble with the elbow parts because I'll put it on backwards and realize, oh, the elbow's not moving. What did I do wrong? And 15. This was more expected for the head. The hand, you put on each part of the hand first, around the ball joint there. 19 and 18. 18 being the palm. So try to get that ball joint in there nicely. You may just have to rest in there. And once the rest of the hand's on, it should probably end up being fine anyway. That feels more loose than I'd like, but it works. This is the right arm, so it has the notch to match up with that piece we put in for the lever. So moving the tail up moves the arm up. You have more free range on the other side for posability, because there's no gear or lever system there. '22 and '23. Gotcha. And more sprue came off, but again, it's the sprue, that's not the important part. Be careful here, because there's the ball joint. Right, then get the upper arm. If it weren't for the action system, the arms would probably be built at the same time, as that's how that usually works. But in this case, the action system actually prevents that from being the way it will work. Legs are generally done separately, arms are usually done at the same time. There are exceptions to the rule, obviously. Obviously, Mewtwo is an exception to the rule. And the exceptions are usually based off of gimmicks, or I guess in Mewtwo's case it would probably happen either way. Having an arm being more limited amount of pieces. Because oftentimes you use the shoulder to add more range. So the arms are basically identical, and then you just turn the shoulder around. But there are exceptions to every rule. Now Mewtwo just needs his tail. Oh, this runner's done. The tail's a nice thick piece, so you don't have to worry too much about break anything there, and the peg is actually not attached to the runner at all, so you don't have to worry about accidentally breaking that. Actually, really curious how the stand works. I don't see any obvious way to actually attach him to the stand. Nice satisfying click. And just attach the end of the tail there. And it looks like we'll just slide onto that lever. There we go. Actually, those decals are completely unnecessary. It's actually the arm that moves the tail. I mean, which is why it was so stiff. Okay. Like, moving the tail down will move the hand down, but Oh no, okay, I guess this wasn't holding the right way. But you can see it working now. Definitely works better from certain positions. So I'll call that the resting position then. He will definitely not stand on his own now, though. It is the tail specifically that wants to move. Okay. It actually shows it moving from a position that I'm not sure I can actually get it into a move. Yeah, that's definitely so. Yeah, it definitely shows different in the instructions what I can actually do. Though that may just have more to do with the tail itself, uh, being a bit of a big lever. And we have the stand. Oh, so it just rests on the stand. Interesting. The stand is a nice little Pokeball shape. It looks like the thicker part goes in the bottom, and yep, there's a groove specifically shaped to that. And we'll just put on this piece. Looks like it's designed so that okay, this so he rests this way. I think doesn't really look right, but I don't see any other way to do that. Maybe it's this way. It's hard to tell. No, I definitely had it right the first time. But there's Mewtwo. And it's actually one of the few models that uses every single piece. Very few models do that. Okay, so it is Bandai line. That explains why it's so easy to do. It's not gunplay, but it is Bandai, which means it's basically gunplay. Do want to mess around with him on the stand a bit more. I haven't quite figured out where the actual resting position is for him on here. Ah, you snap. Okay, that explains it. He snaps onto the stand. You still get a bit of free movement there. So the stand lets him float. was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still needs to be decently complex. So I'm happy. Didn't even have to do any snipping. So that's it for the model building, and that did not take long at all. So, time to move on to the next thing.